Ever had a family leech turn the whole family against you until receipts proved everything? Uncle Martin was the family leech, but he'd perfected the art. Never outright begged, he performed. Always had documentation of his crisis. Always caught you alone. Always made you feel like the only thing standing between him and disaster was your checking account. 2 years ago, he showed up at my apartment at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. Hadn't seen him in 6 months. His shirt was strategically wrinkled, his hands shaking with what looked like withdrawal but was probably just theater. He'd even added a tremor to his voice I'd never heard before. They're repossessing my truck tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp. He pulled out papers, real or fake, I'll never know. If I lose the truck, I lose my job. I lose my job, I lose everything. My whole life, gone. Just need $12,000 to catch up on payments. 6 months. I swear on my mother's grave, I'll pay you back with interest. His mother was sitting in her living room watching Jeopardy, very much alive. Martin, your reputation, I know, I've made mistakes, but this is different. This is my livelihood. Would I lie about my job? Yes, he would. He had. But family guilt is a powerful drug, especially when someone looks you dead in the eye and says their entire future depends on you. I wrote the check. He hugged me like I'd saved his life, even produced actual tears. Should have won an Oscar. 6 months passed. Nothing. I sent polite texts. Hey, just checking on the repayment timeline. Market's been rough, nephew. Just need another month. 9 months. You know I'm good for it. Would I screw over family? 12 months. Money's tight, but I'm working on something big. Meanwhile, his Facebook told a different story. New fishing boat. Blessed to upgrade. Vegas weekend. What happens in Vegas? Rolex on his wrist. Sometimes you gotta treat yourself. Every post was a $12,000 middle finger. At 18 months, I'd had enough. 4th of July barbecue. The whole family is present. I figured he couldn't dodge me with 50 witnesses. Found him by the grill, holding court about his business ventures. Martin, we need to discuss the 12 grand. His face shifted instantly. Then, loud enough for 3 tables to hear. Wow, Alex, wow. You're really going to shake down your own uncle at your grandmother's party over money? The conversation stopped. Heads turned. My cousin's kids even looked up from their phones. You promised to pay it back, and here you are, acting like some mob debt collector at a family gathering, in front of children. He gestured to my nephew, who was 17 and scrolling TikTok. If family meant anything to you, that money would have been a gift. But no, you're here with your hand out while we're trying to celebrate America. My mom hissed from her lawn chair. Alex, this is neither the time nor place. My aunt shook her head with that specific disappointment reserved for family members who make scenes. Martin had weaponized the audience. Every relative who valued keeping the peace over justice was now his ally. It's $12,000, Martin. He shrugged, taking a theatrical sip of beer. I don't have it, and honestly, you make good money. 6 figures, right? You'll survive. Some of us are actually struggling. Don't be petty. Petty? You bought a Rolex. That was a gift. He lied so smoothly I almost believed him. But thank you for embarrassing me in front of everyone. Real classy. 2 weeks later, blocked. Phone, email, Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn. Complete digital assassination. One day I could reach him. The next, I was deleted from his existence. 6 months later, I drove past his house on the way to Home Depot. Brand new F-150 Platinum in the driveway. The window sticker is still on it. Base price, $68,000. Thanksgiving arrived. Martin was there, center of attention, spinning tales about his investments finally paying off and how hard work always wins. I brought receipts, literally. When he started bragging about buying the truck with cash, I stood up, pulled out my phone, and opened my banking app. Speaking of that truck, Martin, the room quieted. I placed my phone on the table, the transfer visible. March 15th, 2021, $12,000. You said 6 months. It's been 20, but somehow you had 68,000 cash for that truck? My father set down his fork. Martin, what's she talking about? That's not, we had an understanding. My mother's voice could have frozen hell. You blocked him after taking his money? The shield he'd hidden behind, family politeness, public conflict avoidance, the unspoken rule of don't make scenes, shattered instantly. This is ridiculous, he muttered, standing. I don't need this kind of attack. Attack? I laughed. You mean accountability? He stormed out, slammed the door so hard my grandmother's plates rattled. Never got my money back, but Martin lost something more valuable, his con game. The family finally saw him clearly. Not unlucky, but predatory, not struggling, but shameless. He hasn't attended a family event since. The money was expensive tuition, but I learned the lesson. Cowards don't just avoid accountability, they weaponize your decency against you. Now when relatives need loans, I say, sure, but first get Martin to pay me back. The conversation ends every time. The most cowardly part wasn't stealing the money or even the blocking. It was knowing our family would rather keep quiet than cause drama and using that against me. He bet I'd be too polite to pursue it publicly. He lost that bet and his seat at every family table since.